and welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is the Schiller, and today we're going to be talking about my Bitcoin ATM experience, how the headlines of Yuga Labs are gracing the timeline once again and filled with a lot of negativity, some positivity at the same time. We're going to go through both ends of the spectrum for that. Is AI gaming something that you should be paying attention to? When I was watching a clip of an old sports game that you might have played on console way back in the day, and it actually kind of reminded me of what we're seeing within some AI games right now. But let's get into things. So the Bitcoin ATM experience. So this is what it looked like when I went by, and it's from a company called Honey Badger, and it says at the top there, the CRA, government institutions, and the RCMP will never ask for payment in Bitcoin. Now, I'm an idiot, and my initial reaction to this was, oh, they're trying to market this and try to push forward this narrative of the government's not going to ask for your money. But then Amanda told me and was like, that just means that they're trying to prevent people who might get emails of, hey, the government's looking for a payment within Bitcoin, that they don't go to the mall and send somebody completely anonymous crypto. But it's more than Bitcoin on here. Ethereum, Litecoin has a couple of different options, but that was my first in-person experience seeing one of the Bitcoin ATMs. And it's also kind of funny how it says the withdrawals are unavailable. All right, Mr. Bill Noble, absolutely love listening to him. Here is a about minute 15 clip from his stream yesterday, and boy, oh boy, is it ever really bullish. And let me swap over. There we go. All right. Let's hear what Bill has to say.
Now, government agencies might approve the Ethereum ETF on May 23rd, according to Giga Bullish Legacy Bank, Standard Chartered Bank. And they just can't stop selling crypto. It's incredible. What do you think the legacy world and the normie world is going to do when Bitcoin makes another new high? And there are Ethereum ETFs all over the world. There's the Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock is trying to get security tokens on chain. Why? Well, could it be there's a little bit too much debt in the world? Could it be that we're going to find out what the problem in the world really is? That interest rates are too high? And what happens when interest rates are too high? Very simple. Things break. And things breaking is good for Bitcoin. It's good for crypto. Who do you want controlling AI? Who's talking about this? No one, which is exactly this. When it's all red and everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe what just happened to me. I can't believe the volatility. I can't believe I bought the top. You're not the only one saying these things. I'm saying them to myself. Like this pep talk, this analytical construct, it's for me and for you. I need to hear it. I need to hear myself talk. So I want to help you and me, particularly you. That's why Patreon, day after day after day, is going to be getting a stream of altcoins, because when we're done with this, whatever this is, if it takes 1 day or 10 days, when we're done with this, you're going to have 2 to 6 months to life-changing money.
Yo, so Bill Noble is out here and saying that he thinks things, once we're done with this dip, are just going to soar. And to be honest, I kind of agree with points of it, right? Because if we are actually having all these ETFs, if we actually have it where there is a massive kind of, rush from their traditional systems into the blockchain space, that is an immense amount of liquidity, capital flowing into the markets, and can change things up in an absolute instance. And Roblox, this is an announcement from just the other day, but they said today Roblox is making it easier for anyone to create a marketplace. This will allow creators and brands to connect with their audiences by offering a more diverse collection of avatars, clothing, and accessories. Okay, so Roblox, huge game. again, a lot of younger people end up playing it. They're saying, hey, anyone can make a marketplace on our game. You don't have these barriers. You don't have to create a store. You just have to have a computer and an ability to kind of figure out systems here, and you can kind of be your own boss in a way if people like what you do. Crocs and Pringles collabed on a brand. Why am I mentioning this? Just kind of re-highlighting how significant IP is. You know what Crocs are? You know what Pringles are? They do completely different things. What if you like Pringles and want to wear Crocs? Well, damn, you might want to buy this thing. Well, what if it's an NFT that you get to wear about within the metaverse and show off to everybody? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I highlighted yesterday that the specials were getting swept. Apparently, they are, or they got swept to front run an announcement that they're doing a cool token. As I didn't really follow with this collection a whole lot back in the day, to be totally honest. There was a lot of people in my Discord that went to some of the events, got into the mint pretty heavy, and are following what's going on, but I didn't think they were ever going the route of a token. So them doing this is making me think, okay, maybe anything that is kind of older, that's still, kind of around, kind of not, they can get people's attention from doing a token. And if that's what they can do to get attention, that's damn well what they will. PSA coming from the Immutable head here. Immutable has now signed 300 plus highly funded games. Illuvium just announced their $25 million rewards campaign. Treeverse, Space Nation, Guild of Guardian, Play Metal Core are all imminently launching, and Blast Royale with nearly 1 million plus downloads, and Immutable ZK EVM is about to explode. Sounds pretty bullish, right on the back of Bill Noble. Ethereum can't even get an ETF, yet Tron gets a song by Hans Zimmer. This damn well might be the best thing that I've seen out of the blockchain space. Hans Zimmer coming in and creating the Tron blockchain anthem. What a world, but it's showing the rapid adoption and interest that people have in such a thing. Okay, super brief talk here about pixels. They've been talking about guilds, and they're saying that guild shards can now be sold. I'm trying to grasp how it's going to look as like guilds form around the various different games, right? You have Yuga ecosystem. We have what's going over on the Ronin network. I mean, we don't need to go down to like specific games. We could talk about entire chains. Who's going to create something that works for them? But in the description here, they talk about what a guild is, just saying it's a place for new players to come in and be a part of a community. And obviously, if you guys have been in Discords, Twitter group chats, etc., that there is various communities that are formed out there. They're going to give 4 different roles within a guild. So you can be a supporter, a farmer, a manager, and an owner, with the guild leaders deciding who gets what role and will be in charge of their own governance. Now, so imagine you go into work, right? And you get the email, whatever, and now you can do that, but it's not technically like work. It's your game entertainment. You're working with your guild, and there's now a task board that gets implemented, and you get to work together to finish those tasks. Now, as you can see here is just kind of like the window of what it looks like right now. I guess I got verified checks with it. I've seen some things where pixels have like stopped cheaters and other people doing shady stuff. Very interesting to see how, again, that'll flesh out throughout the entire space here. But they're going to do these shards where you can purchase them, and then they're going to have it on like a bonding curve. So if that means maybe more people that come through and be on a guild, the more that it's going to cost. Not going to go over all of it, but it's very interesting to see the Pixels Online seems to be at the forefront, right? Seems to be at the forefront of some of these massive gaming ecosystems that are out there. Okay, so this is an NHL video game. You've probably played similar, whether it be football, FIFA, etc., etc. I just want you to watch these characters for a second and imagine that it's AI that you owned that you put into this game.
And they take possession here in the offensive zone, and time to go on the attack.
Okay, so you just saw your owned avatar in a game that's playing for you. You don't have to exude a whole lot of energy. What if you're older and you suck at video games? Well, you're not going to be grabbing a controller trying to, deal with like Timmy Von Winkle or whatever. You just got to go on here and have your AI work for you, and it's easy. Now, it's not going to be for everyone, but playing a couple of the Featureverse AI games, it kind of reminded me when I just saw this clip on my timeline, I was like, oh, I haven't played NHL in a while, and I clicked on it, and just sitting there, I was like, okay, you got the commentary, it's like a video game, and the avatars are just like doing stuff for you. Like, obviously within this game, it's probably a player that's actually playing behind the monitor, but I mean, you're on Twitch, you can see him people's faces sometimes, but it's the same idea that somebody's playing the game for you. Look at Justin Van Buren over here. Mr. JVB, do you remember when Cool Cats did soccer shirts? These things are going to be vintage, man. Soaking in the sun. Had to highlight that because what a beautiful jersey. Funny because Mutants did something similar. When merch that is for soccer teams across the entire space. Holy sweet mother of jeez. Look at Top Shot. I just bought a Series 1 and Joel Embiid Top Shot for $10. The first buyer paid $2,700 for it. Now, I mean, we could argue and say, all right, for a top 200 cereal, maybe they'd pay a little bit more, but yeesh, what is going on? The things that were valuable have not held up very well. Play to earn is back, says Derek. Illuvium 20 mil private beta rewards and Axie Infinity $70 a day in rewards. Again, we highlighted the Axie Infinity thing the other day, but very much true. How he's saying it's not sustainable, but user acquisition is free and can bring attention, engagement, and revenue. Everything's getting completely flipped on their lid. Now, I don't know a whole lot about like Bitcoin ordinals, the inscriptions, all that kind of stuff, but CyberKongz apparently inscribed the 7th largest file ever on Bitcoin. That sounds super cool and impressive. I feel like the majority of people will be like, nice. And and that's it. But CyberKongz always doing something crazy over there. So love to see it. Kieran Warwick highlighting just, again, the Illuvium airdrop that we mentioned a brief moment ago. Right now, that's about $20 million, just a little bit shy. And then he has a link there where it is a... what's the right word? A referral link, right? Like it says Kieran Illuvium there, and I'm just daily reminder. We're gonna see them all over your timeline. If you guys are here and enjoy the show, I'd love it if you're able to give a little bit of a share with the stream or like it, whatever works for you. Now we're gonna get into some of the Yuga conversation, and this has gotten a lot of attention. It is caused some people to have very interesting choice words said about certain people within the space. At the same time, other people are thinking, hey, this is a great move, but what the hell am I talking about, Schiller? So the morning of the announcement that we'll get into a second, this was a post that was up on my timeline. And it's from Adam saying, Yuga's strategy of keeping everything close to the vest isn't working anymore. I saw the Coda Amara announcement yesterday, and all I could think of was, why do I want one of these? I own 9 other deeds, 26 Mara, and a weapon Coda. I'm a gamer. I'm a Web3 degen. I've logged into Legends of the Mara every single day since launched. I'm literally the exact person that should have saw that announcement and been psyched, but I wasn't. Right now, it's an endless loop. And then it goes into more kind of explaining this. And I have an entire series. If you've seen heavy metal games, you talk like, you know, people, you've probably seen on your timeline if you're in the NFT space, but you can see on my channel, if you go to playlists, I have kind of the first few seasons where I played. I made videos like relatively often within it, explained my experience, and I got like totally burnt out through it. There was so many issues overall. It was exciting initially, very, very social, and then just it became completely unfun. But the sentiment was pretty negative, right? Across heavy metal. And then the announcement happens yesterday where they say, we have some exciting news to share. Our friends far away are acquiring the heavy metal and Legends of the Mara brands, where they'll focus on rewarding these communities. And to help manage this transition, Everyday Zucchini will be joining the Faraway team as the new CPO. More information in the thread below. So Yuga Labs, who, you know, for all intents and purposes, is the king within the Web3 space, is selling off things that they created because it didn't work. Right? That's kind of the general broad assumption within this. Faraway, if we go through some of the stuff here more below. If you're not already familiar with Faraway, we're a veteran team of 100 plus developers, designers, producers, and more, backed by Lightspeed, Sequoia, and A16Z. Our mission has always been to create an ecosystem of interoperable games and economies that reward players. As we take charge of Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara, our immediate goal is to drive as much utility as possible to the primary NFTs that make up these collections. Our plan is this to supplement new activations with interoperability across our network. You'll get points for both. So my question with this is, I don't understand why Faraway would go and say, hey, we want to take these IPs, right? At the beginning of this, I would have been like, abso-frickin-lutely, this is fantastic. If you guys think that there's going to be more to it, you guys are doing the point systems. And to preface that, I don't think I would actually say that's amazing beginning, because I'd be like, why? Well, why are you getting rid of your thing? Can't you guys do it? You're supposed to be the cream of the crop. What the hell's going on? But obviously, looking back, that would have been decent. But the point being is that everybody that I knew that was playing heavy metal, they stopped playing it. Legends of Mara is a really passive thing where I log in once a day, I kind of click on it and that's it. And I'll show one of my things here in a minute from that game. But this has caused a lot of reactions across the space, and we're kind of going to jump into some of them. But the following collections are now with Faraway: Heavy Metal, Sewer Passes, Other Side Vessels, Maras, Kodamaras, Loot, Ship Parts, Catalyst, Partner Loot. All of that stuff is going to Faraway, and Lab saying, extremely pleased I don't own any Yuga assets anymore, but how does this make sense? The company is buying a dead game that no one wants to play so they can reward holders. Why would a company spend money just so they can spend money to reward people? Totally agree. Again, if it was a lot of players, this would kind of make sense, unless something's going on with Yuga, which we'll get to Garga's comments in a second. The guy who bought the one-of-one Dookie Dash key, people immediately started kind of climbing on that. Adam Weitzman bought the Dookie Dash key for over $1 million. He thought he was getting a one-of-one Yuga asset. Turns out he now has a far away one-of-one asset. And Garga jumping in saying, and Garga is the founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club and Heavy Metal, yada yada. Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara are finding a new home with Faraway, putting these brands in the best position to reach new heights. Wanted to share some unfiltered thoughts on the news. Faraway's founders, Apley and OX Dens, have extensive careers in Web2 gaming and taking beloved worldwide IP and making it sticky and fun games to delight those communities, but that means jack shit on its own. More importantly, these guys are effing doers, by which I mean they are the actual hands really truly making those experiences that live on their resume, and they understand the insane idiosyncrasy space we're in. It's basically impossible to find founders like them that are crypto native, have serious game dev credentials, and have the hustle to live operate a game and build in public. Plus, they've got a 100+ person team in lockstep behind them. For all those reasons, when they approached Yuga with the idea of acquiring Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara, I was tempted, but when they shared their vision and made it clear made it clear that they had a plan to start rewarding the community from day one, I was in. Kid Arcade, what's going on? How are you? So, I mean, it's interesting that Faraway approached Yuga and was like, hey, we want to take this over. If they could explain why and that made sense, I feel like, I mean, I'm just sitting here commentating on it, right? It's neither here nor there. I'm not going to change anything, but it would be cool if they explain okay, here's why specifically we want to take it, unless it's them working with Yuga more so on other things, and this is kind of a beneficial partner for them. This move is one step in making sure Yuga's gaming focus is razor sharp on 3D Other Side. So the focus is now on Other Side. So you can be telling stories and delighting people fast. I'll have more news to share on that front soon, but know that while Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara will have their own futures under Faraway, we look forward to building out an interoperable future in Other Side for them. Again, generally kind of, good response. I don't think there was anything more he needed to say necessarily within it. But there's, this was a good point where he kind of says, still locked arms with Faraway and building out interoperability for Heavy and Legend of the Mara. In Other Side, this just means we get to focus on realizing 3D Other Side while they lead the charge on Legends of the Mara game and HV activation. So, I mean, it kind of sounds like they didn't really have that much of a plan for Heavy Metal other than having other NFTs that could be used within these games. And then it's officially Yuga. And then, is this kind of hey, we're getting different editions of a car, but instead of a car, it's an avatar skin, right? Are we going to that insane heights? And Faraway asked Yuga apparently to burn 4,295 of the NFTs that were held by Yuga Labs, and they did do as such. So they have the new Kodamaras, which I guess use the fragments and some different abilities within there to form a new thing. So Gwei is actually not too bad. What we might do is I might bring it up and see if we can actually do one of these live. And if not, that is going to be fine. But I'll open that and we'll go back here in a momentero. So Top Shot's Wemby 1-of-1 auction just smashed the record for any digital collectible or physical card selling for $145,000. In my opinion, any collectible media brand or company not reporting on this has zero credibility. And this is a great point. At first I was like, like maybe it's just not for everyone. But I'm like, no, that's actually like, are we really deciphering the physical word from the digital world? Is there, a prejudice per se against Top Shot? There's still that negativity. Oh, we don't want to mention about NFTs because it's going to piss off our viewers. And that's interesting because at the same time, for anybody that's in the space, like, hey, if you can get the entire attention of the Top Shot community, that's actually pretty viable, like valuable, right? If you can acquire the attention of people in a positive way, that is a huge community. Okay, so we had the Brittany Griner thing before, and there's always something funny with Top Shot where when there's some moment that has an individual that has some issue with the law, kicked out of the league, some kerfuffle, whatever it is. And this time it's Jonte Porter of the Toronto Raptors. He just received a lifetime ban from the NBA for gambling on his own games. While the rest of you were giggling to your friends in your $10 buy-in fantasy league, I was busy becoming the single biggest holder of Jonte Porter Top Shots study man. Now, there's a subset of people that I think are like, that's the play. Because back in the day, I was saying Luka, LaMelo, and LeBron were the three. Only focus on the three. And then other people were like, oh, it's anything first series. And then we have the Giga Chads who are like, whenever we know that their moment's done and they've done something suspicious, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This week from the bodega, made by Apes, Michael, KDCL. They're just highlighting wallet guard. I'm just bringing this up because I haven't mentioned security in a few episodes. I haven't seen anything kind of crazy on my timeline regarding that, but these wallet guards, anything that you use is like a wallet guard in general, not to play off that name, use it. I think there's another one called Prism or Join Fire. There's a lot of different ones out there, but just, it's like an antivirus, but better. Getting Web3 to work on mobile app stores is tricky. You have to deal with app store fees, embedded wallets, chargebacks, and general uncertainty. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize there was all those extra components for it. And he's saying Mavia Game, Kings of Destiny, IG, and Guild of Guardians are all some of the ones that are on there if you're wanting to see what they got cooking. Source. It's Gary Gensler. The hell's going on? Gary Gensler tricks crypto Crypto X, I guess the X feed of crypto, into thinking he was resigning from the SEC. This is the tweet. It's been an honor to serve as SEC chair over the past 3 years. I've seen firsthand how the incredible staff at the SEC serve investors and issuers alike. A thread. And then there's nothing below it. And it's kind of funny because it's playing off the fact that there's a whole bunch of people that are like, hey, here's why, this is the best NFT project ever, a thread. And then it's like some super, super long thread explaining why. So Gary trying to play on the crowd there. WorldCoin introduces WorldChain, a new blockchain designed for humans. Let me say that again. A blockchain that is designed for humans. So this, I guess, it says priority and gas for humans, right? So for transactions, I guess humans maybe get it for free. But this highlights the fact that they know that AI is coming. AI is going to infiltrate some of these different blockchains. And I guess this is a preventative measure to stop that. I suppose. Haven't really looked into it, but very, very interesting headlines and quick little graphic there. The Paul Barron Network. You know what he's talking about? Futureverse. He did like a 15-minute breakdown of a whole bunch of things going on within the Futureverse ecosystem, talking about Ripple and the stable coins. Again, if you stake Root, you get XRP within that. I don't know. Listen, all I can say is we were talking about Root like 2 years ago, and obviously there's some issues right now with the with the pre-beta alpha, whatever the heck we're in. But very interesting to see that more people are starting to cover that ecosystem. Okay, so late last night, like 1 a.m. late, 16,000 Bitcoin, $1 billion, $1 billion transferred from unknown wallet to Binance. And apparently it all got transferred into a stable coin. People are coming out with all these different theories. But the question or the comment, I guess, would be if they actually sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin yesterday or this morning and it didn't affect the market, that's bullish, right? Extremeverse got hit up from a friend regarding this. India's largest gaming platform is partnering with Extremeverse, and it's called Wins Official. Okay, so first glance, it says Web3 gaming universe, 1 million monthly users, raised 6 million, backed by Hashidam. Hashidam Emergent is a Web3 venture capital firm backing founders from India and other emerging markets. 53,000 followers right here. Earn points, get airdrops. Monthly gamers. Videos look pretty all right behind this. Might be something to watch if you're trying to find something new to sink some of your blockchain time on. Axie Homeland. Here's a quick little video. Looks like they're using the Axie Infinity land. Kind of funny that for like the most part of blockchain games, like there's been like no use for the land. But it's starting to come around. Characters just walking around. Nothing too insane. You can see on top of it how it has the .ron name. So like, Schiller.ron, Schiller.eth, everything. I feel like there's going to be like a running joke or something that's going to be built around these dot names because it's just going to be what everybody has. And I used to make fun of people. Well, like in my head, I was like, why does everybody have a like branding at the end of it? And as like an example for Overwatch, right? Like every single Overwatch personality person, they had their name, let's just say Schiller, and then OW on the end for Overwatch. And that was like across everybody that did it. And now it's funny because that's what's exactly happening in the blockchain space. This might be my favorite piece of Forgotten Runes merch. Kind of cool here. A couple pins. Listen, the IP that's being built in the Web3 marketplace is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, Codas, we've highlighted a little bit here about Yuga, but if you're interested, they're down here at 1 ETH right now. It's been wild. Everything that's like an ETH NFT has done extraordinarily poorly. As of late, we're seeing a lot of collections on other chains finding some rhythm, but it's been wacky. Like, I don't think it's been very positive at all. I think that we thought, hey, there's no chance we could go lower. And then we went lower. But with that said, Bored Apes touching 10 ETH like yesterday, and they're already up 2.3 ETH or 9% in a single day. That's a huge amount. Pudgy Penguin still holding up at 11. Mutant Ape Yacht Club at 2 ETH. Again, across the board, like things are like okay, right? Like Mizuki's selling for 4 ETH. They're like, oh, okay, you know what? Like that way, we're still not in a bad spot. But there is a lot of collections that are down towards like the 0.5 range, and then we're seeing the likes of Mochaverse here upwards of almost 5. But again, this is kind of a caveat because people know that there is a rather large token allocation that is associated within that. And so, the more people know, the more they're able to react. Guild of Guardians, a quick mega thread. I'll try to go through this relatively quickly here, but a highly anticipated roguelite squad RPG with over 1 million pre-registered users is gearing up for global launch on May 15th. So this is something that I was really into originally. It kind of took a long time to come out, and so I kind of was like, all right, this, this isn't happening the way that I thought, but it's awesome to see that they are coming out, and I wanted, follow it to see, hey, was I right with my initial instincts for this? But developed by MindLoader, a premier game development studio, MindLoader has developed top-notch art for franchises such as Final Fantasy Remake, and The Last of Us. Guild of Guardians token utility and sustainability. Serving as the focal point of the Guild of Guardians universe, here are some of the Guild of Guardian use cases. Asset minting. Use your GOG to mint new NFTs. Altar of Sacrifice. It's a web-based minting system designed for Web3 users and uses Guild of Guardians token to manage transactions, including paying for the creation and minting fees, helping balance the game's economy. Staking, of course, and then payment. So you can use GOG to buy or sell NFTs. And then, of course, governance. Everybody's got governance, but I feel like most people just do not care about governance. So quick little overview of Guild of Guardians. Again, 1 million people signed up for this. This was one of the earliest collections that were out there. Massive team of 200 initially. Incredible pivots too. I'm talking huge overhauls, and now they're going on release. Very interested, as this is supposed to be the flagship for Immutable, but obviously there's been a lot of other games that have come on board with them since, so I'm not sure if that's exactly official. Did a quick Google Trend search to see the state of Web3 from an outside perspective. Bitcoin interest is skyrocketing, while NFT searches are basically non-existent. So you can see on the red line here for Bitcoin, it's all the way up to almost 100, and it's a chart that says interest over time. So again, this is just Google searches. For crypto, it's been kind of hovering along at 25. So again, Bitcoin upwards of 100 on this chart. Crypto all the way down to 25 out of 100, and then NFTs, I don't even know if we've hit 5 out of 100. It's a line. It's dead. It is actually over. Kind of crazy. And this is what it looks like on that Legends of Mara site for evolving your Mara. Let me just log in super quickly here to see if I can show what it do. I don't know which one to upgrade here. Let's just say that we're going to take the green guy, drag a catalyst. I don't have a catalyst. All right, I guess I can't upgrade. Now we're going back to the game. Listen, wait, no, hold on. We don't want other side. We want my collection. Your other deeds. That's not it. Oh, it shows on the back of these ones. Okay, I need to check it out and kind of understand it more, because I thought I already had everything to it. But maybe I haven't even been playing the game right. That's it for this edition of XFeed. Trader Pops, appreciate you guys coming through, as well as Kid Arcade and everybody that's watching in silence. If you can like the video, that'd be hella appreciated. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and